So tell us a little bit about your experiences with building infrastructure for mentorship. I know you've had some great success with boost teams and launch
Thanks,
teams.
Dr. Moniz. This is a great question. I think it's really important for you to build in infrastructure to create the teams. In some ways, this makes sure everyone has a similar experience, but it also broadens and makes sure everyone has equal access to mentorship and sponsorship that can happen through these. As you've spoken about in a different mentorship madness section, it's really important to have a broad, diverse group of mentors who can help create different skills. You might need a different one for clinical and research mentorship. The people who can sponsor you may be different than people who can help you develop skills. So you may want to include those individuals. So we developed launch teams for every new faculty member and every resident going into their academic development time. And those comprise these teams, as I mentioned below, of diverse individuals to fill different needs for each type of faculty and resident. And I think it's been really successful in making sure that everybody has a group of people dedicated to their mentorship and that everyone has access to those individuals. We also noticed that there was another time besides starting your career where it might be useful to have one of these teams. And that is when you become an associate professor and you're thinking less about your own clinical practice and your own research program. You're starting to think about how you might lead and how you might build leadership competencies. And we firmly believe that the best way to do that is to have a group of people, once again, like a launch team, but this time we call it a boost team, who can formally help create roles for you and help pass on skills for you to build the core competencies you need to develop your ultimate leadership position that you're interested in, or the next leadership position you're interested in. For example, if you want to be the CEO of a health system someday, you may need to get smaller roles and have an understanding of what the competencies are, what, say, the 6 core competencies are to that job, so you can take on projects or smaller roles to develop in those, and then to understand that through the committee, and then to get sponsorship to, and what we call job crafting and developing a career trajectory with people who know is really important. And that's the function of the boost teams.